Yeah, they had a great run, and it's fun to watch, and they moved the basketball. They was well coached. I watched them all the time. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark play about the same last year, so I was watching a lot of basketball. But I do a lot of college scouting, and I was hoping one of the Indiana State players would be on the radar, but you never know, they were so young. But
Larry Bird said what everyone else was too afraid to. Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. Plain and simple, no sugarcoating, no media spin, just raw honesty. He didn't flinch, didn't dance around it, just stated what the numbers and performances are already proving. And honestly, he's not wrong. Clark is out here pulling up in the logo like it's a free throw, stacking triple doubles, breaking records, and quite literally carrying the WNBA on her back. Her impact isn't just felt in stats. It's in ticket sales, ratings, and the energy she brings to the court every night. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is still trying to prove she belongs in the same conversation, spending more time making TikToks than making headlines for performance. Clark isn't just playing at an elite level. She's shifting the landscape of women's basketball.
Caitlin Clark and
I'm a fan.
Angel Reese, right?
Yeah.
They're going back and
I'm a
forth.
fan of both.
And Jamil Hill says by the time Angel Reese is done, she's going to be the Michael Jordan of WNBA.
She said about Angel Reese?
She said Angel Reese, by the time she retires, can you pull up this quote? She said, by the time she retires, she will be the MJ of, go to Jamil Hill, type in Jamil Hill, yeah. She says, by the time she retires, Jamil Hill has made a bold prediction that Angel Reese will become the MJ of the WNBA by the time she retires. That's what she said. Okay? Let me continue.
And then came the wave of support. Steph Curry backed up Larry Bird. Shaq co-signed it. And even Charles Barkley jumped in, saying, y'all need to stop being petty and give Caitlin Clark her flowers. At this point, it's not even a rivalry, it's a reality check. If NBA legends, Hall of Famers, and game changers are all saying Caitlin's that one, maybe it's time we all stop pretending this is even close. This isn't about hype anymore. This is about dominance, and the WNBA just officially became the Caitlin Clark show. Larry Bird didn't just toss an opinion into wind. He dropped the bomb on the women's basketball world. The Hall of Famer didn't hesitate when he said Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. No fluff, no PR-friendly phrasing, just a legendary baller telling it like it is. And let's be real, when Bird speaks, the basketball world listens. He's not the type to hand out compliments unless they're earned. So when he publicly crowned Clark, it wasn't just praise, it was a verdict. He even compared watching her to watching himself back at Indiana State. That's not just a compliment, that's an all-time great saying, yeah, this kid reminds me of me. And notice what had happened? Angel Reese wasn't even mentioned. That silence was louder than any ESPN segment or Twitter hot take. Bird didn't need to drag anyone, he just spoke the truth. Caitlin Clark's game speaks volumes on its own. Logo range threes like it's routine, laser-sharp court vision, triple doubles like clockwork. She's not just playing basketball, she's redefining it. And Bird sees it. Then Steph Curry added fuel to the fire. The man who revolutionized the game with his range said Clark is must-see TV. He praised her flair, her confidence, her elite basketball IQ. This wasn't a pity compliment. This was the greatest shooter of all time recognizing a generational talent rising right in front of us. So here's the real question for fans. When Larry Bird, Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal, and Charles Barkley all say Caitlin Clark is that player, are we still pretending this is just a rivalry? Or is it time to accept the reality? Caitlin Clark isn't just better right now. She's building a legacy that's reshaping the sport.
Have you spoken to her? Do you know her? What do you think?
I've been watching from afar and understanding just how much of a power she is out there on the court. The cool part is the way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall, floor game. She's racking up, close to triple doubles every night, and her shooting ability is, it's her superpower, but the rest of her game is as polished as that, and so it's must-see TV. I love what it has done for women's basketball in terms of when she shows up, the seats are filled.
And coming from Steph Curry, that praise is real because that's a shooter recognizing another killer. Steph didn't hand out compliments just to go with the trend. He saw Caitlin Clark pull up from the logo, control the game, and make elite-level plays night after night. That's respect from one generational talent to another. Then came Shaq, the Diesel himself. He openly admitted he was a hater at first, said he didn't buy into the hype. But then he watched Clark torch defenses from deep, sink logo threes like they were layups, and control the tempo with ice in her veins. That was all it took for Shaq to flip. He didn't just change his tune. He called her a game changer, a future legend. And Charles Barkley? He never holds back. And this time was no different. He straight up called out the rest of the WNBA for the petty drama, the cold shoulders, the jealousy. Barkley said what everyone was thinking. Y'all being petty, she's the one bringing in the money. He put it bluntly. Caitlin Clark isn't just a rookie. She's the reason ratings are up, seats are filled, and sponsors are writing bigger checks. Instead of resenting her, the league should be protecting her, supporting her, and yes, giving her the flowers she's earned. When legends like Steph, Shaq, and Barkley all line up to praise a rookie, it's not hype, it's history in the making.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA.
Three legends, Larry Bird, Steph Curry, and Shaquille O'Neal, plus Charles Barkley, all singing the same tune, and they didn't just name-drop Caitlin Clark. They backed her like she's already a Hall of Famer. So here's the real question. When the greatest ever player all in her corner, why are some people still acting like she hasn't earned it? Larry Bird, a guy who doesn't care about flash, only heart, hustle, and toughness, gave Clark a stamp of approval. And that hits different. Bird talked about how the best teammates are the ones who grind every day, keep it real, and elevate everyone around them. That's Clark to a T. She's not just draining logo threes. She's diving for loose balls, calling out plays, taking charges. Exactly the kind of player Bird would have loved to suit up alongside. And the most telling part? Bird didn't even mention Angel Reese. No comparisons. No, she's good too. Pity quotes. Just silence. That silence echoed louder than any press conference. Because if Larry Bird doesn't see it as a debate, why should we pretend it is? Clark isn't trying to be flashy. She's trying to win. That's the kind of energy legends respect. And that's why she's getting those nods. Not because of hype, but because she works. So here's one for the real basketball fans. Do you respect the loudest talkers or the ones who put their head down and just ball? Because if you're comparing Instagram followers instead of on-court production, you've already lost the argument. On the hardwood, it's not even close. Caitlin Clark is a floor general with NBA-level vision and decision-making. She's not just a shooter, she's a surgeon, dissecting defenses, controlling tempo, making everyone around her better. Angel Reese, a strong rebounder, solid defender. But when it comes to leading an offense, she's not there yet. Reese is a role player on a struggling team. Clark is the reason her team is relevant. And let's talk team chemistry, because Tim Hardaway didn't hold back. He said the quiet part out loud. There's jealousy in the locker room, and a lot of it is aimed directly at Caitlin Clark. He pointed out how some teammates wouldn't even help her up after a foul. That's not normal. That's not just cold, it's personal. Hardaway said it straight. Clark is playing the right way, having fun, staying professional, and her own team is letting envy eat them alive. And here's the crazy part. Clark's not even giving them a reason to hate. She's not trash-talking, not showboating, not acting bigger than the game. She's just hooping, and yet the energy around her is icy. You can't win championships with that kind of dysfunction, and Hardaway's comments expose a truth the league doesn't want to face. This isn't just about Caitlin versus Angel. It's about a league that's struggling to support a young star rising too fast for their comfort. Then Charles Barkley stepped in and slammed the league's attitude, calling it exactly what it is, petty. He said the hate Clark gets isn't about basketball. It's jealousy, plain and simple. She's the one packing arenas, landing endorsements, drawing millions of new eyes to the game, and instead of celebrating her, people are throwing shade. Barkley said, "Give her flowers," because without Caitlin Clark, half of these games wouldn't even be on national TV. And he's right. He's been in the trenches with legends like MJ and Shaq. He knows what greatness looks like, and Clark has it. This whole Clark versus Reese narrative, blown way out of proportion, and the media is to blame. Every foul, every glare, every post-game moment gets spun into drama for clicks. Clark isn't fueling it. She's focused on basketball. But the media needs a villain, so they create one. Bill Simmons even said it. The media is turning the WNBA into TMZ with a scoreboard, and that's dangerous. Because the real story isn't who followed who. It's who's breaking records, who's leading in assists, who's turning a rookie year into history in real time. Even Shaq admitted he didn't believe the hype at first. He thought it might just be media buzz, until he watched her hit logo threes, control the court, and elevate her team. Then he changed his tune. He said she's doing things even Curry doesn't try. That's wild. When a four-time NBA champ who's played with Kobe and against LeBron says you change his mind, that's not flattery. It's confirmation. It's respect. And Shaq isn't alone. More legends are waking up, watching Clark cook, and realizing we're witnessing something rare. So let's kill the narrative once and for all. Caitlin Clark isn't just famous because she's marketable. She's famous because she's great. Full stop. Stephen A. Smith went off. Say if you think Clark's popularity is about TikTok or commercials. You clearly haven't watched her play. She's leading the league in assists, fourth in MVP voting, and doing it in her first season. That's not marketing. That's mastery. You can't fake 30-point games in sold-out arenas. That's earned. And Stephen A. said it best. If the WNBA starts prioritizing buzz over basketball, it's headed straight for irrelevance. Then came the Olympic snub. Clark, the league leader in assists, the one drawing millions of viewers, was left off Team USA. Meanwhile, underperforming veterans and injured players made the cut. It wasn't about basketball. It was politics, plain and simple. It was gatekeeping. The league's brightest star got benched from the global stage to keep the peace, and fans weren't having it. Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. called it out. The fans called it out. And Clark? She took it with grace, saying she'd use it as motivation. That's who she is. So let's end with this. Caitlin Clark is changing the game, elevating her team, redefining what a rookie can be, and forcing an entire league to evolve. If people are still questioning her greatness, that's not debate, that's denial. This isn't hype. It's skill, leadership, and results. While others make excuses, Clark's making history. So the question is, do you believe she's already the face of the league? Or are some just too afraid to admit the torch has already been passed? Drop your take in the comments. Smash that like button if you're riding with Clark, and hit subscribe, because her rise is just getting started, and we're here for every step of it.